Uh, over the past, year, I've been playing a lot of different video games. You know, on New Year's Eve, I made a resolution for 2023. I made actually 3 resolutions. 1, I would stop drinking. My family's getting concerned for me. It's becoming a problem. 2, I would upload at least 3 new videos. I think I did that. I was too drunk to remember. And 3, to play a ton of new games I've never played before in my life. You know, so that's why we're here today. Celebrate the minuscule accomplishments of a 20-year-old man-child who hasn't read a book since 2019. And if you were wondering what that book was, it was the Minecraft Redstone Handbook. A great read, might I say. So, without further ado, let's get on with it already. I ranked all these games I played from worst to best, and they're all, in my opinion, you're wrong, go fuck yourself. And, you know, because no YouTube video is perfect without an unwanted opinion from a gamer. It's really sweaty in here. Ask your mom or ask her dad. Now, keep in mind, these are just games I've never played before. A decent amount of these games did not release this year. But you know what did release this year? The worst of the worst on this list. Sons of the Forest, baby! Here's the problem. It's not a shitty game. It's just disappointing, personally. The first Forest game was pretty good, but it had its dumb flaws. The AI of enemies were abysmal, and the base building was a bit aggravating at times. But my friends and I played the shit out of the original game. I've beaten it over 5 fucking times. That's a lot for a game I like to criticize. So when the developers announce a sequel with better graphics and more emphasis on the survival horror, I am ecstatic. But then the game was released and it kinda sucks. The biggest letdown is that there's no need for base building in this game. The original game forced you to make a base so you could gather food and water until you had enough supplies to venture into one of those terrifying caves full of cannibals. But this new game, my friend Ryan and I had so many supplies from the caves that we hopped from that we just kept going from cave to cave to cave until we beat the game. And the ending sucks. There wasn't any boss fights at the time of us playing it, nor was there a reason for us to play it again. I know it's in development, but I hope you can understand the letdown we felt when we were just getting a shitty sequel. Fuck Kelvin. Ask your mom or ask her dad. Gris is a slow but pretty game. Using watercolors and simple puzzle-solving mechanics creates a very neat game. It really makes me wish I could draw, though. Ask your mom or ask her dad. Golden Light is a gross, grotesque, grimy, and ghoulish game. A multiplayer dungeon crawler with fleshy mechanics that make you question why you're even playing it. I enjoy the concepts and looks, but the flaws within the level design and depth. I want to see more emerge from this developer and this game, and I hope this is gonna happen soon.
Hello, Mario.
I put Papa's Freezeria Deluxe this low since it's just a re-release. I like the game. It's a fun time killer to serve customers with some delicious diabetes and upgrade your restaurant from bland to fucking ugly. It's pretty cheap, so I recommend getting it. Or else Xandra will kill you in your sleep.
Hello, Mario.
Rain World is confusing and tough, but I enjoy that. I think the best games are the ones that don't hold your hand. They allow the player to struggle and learn over time without punishing them too much. Rain World is a game where you play as this thing, and you explore this place, and this creature here will probably kill you. I'm gonna come back to the game eventually, but for now, this world can have its rain.
Hello, Mario.
Similar to Rain World, I'm gonna have to come back to Disco Elysium as well. It's a D&D style game where you play as a detective and must figure out a bunch of stuff with the wits you have. I most likely will play more of it in 2024, so for now, we will just leave this case unsolved. Kill yourself!
Don't cry because it's over, cry because it happened.
Have you ever talked to that one old person in your family who's a bit too religious for your taste? And you love her, but Jesus, her conversation topics way too tame for a sinner like yourself. No? Well, too bad, because that's how I feel whenever I play Strange Horticulture. This game is good, but it's too simple. The puzzle-solving mechanics are initially good, but over time they get dull and repetitive. I love the idea of having different flowers for different problems, but they don't have my favorite flower, the Dicentra, also known as the Bleeding Heart. Instead, we have Brown Plant 1 and Brown Plant 2. You see, As a gamer, I get impatient and greedy, so I think that was my caveat with the game. I wanted a hook and some good pacing, but instead I got a conversation with my grandma about why she thinks I'm gay because I don't talk about girls enough. Thank you, Grandma.
Don't cry because it's over, cry because it happened.
Dave the Diver is a night and day kind of game. At day, you submerge yourself in an ocean where you can spear fish, collect treasure, and discover more secrets that lie below. And at night, you can use that fish you've collected to make sushi and manage an oceanside restaurant. I love this cycle of mixing two different styles of games into one continuous loop. The game will also throw in some fun side stuff like upgrading equipment, taking photos of sea life, and creating an intriguing story about an ancient aquatic world. The game was still in development when I played it, so not much content was there. But I'm very pleased with what I had, and I'm hopeful for the future of this game.
Don't cry because it's over, cry because it happened.
Sometimes, the best games are ones you don't play, but experience. A calm, ocean breeze, relaxing tunes, and just some rubber duckies. Yeah, that's right. Placid, plastic duck simulator exists, and it is something else. Sitting around as new ducks appear that you can name after whatever or whoever. There really isn't a gameplay mechanic, it's just idle ducks bobbing in a pool. What more could you ever want? Every few minutes, a new duck appears with a neat look or gimmick. It's such a dopamine rush when you boot up the game and every duck you've collected just starts falling down. God created this great green earth specifically for us to watch rubber duckies in a pool. Amen!
What the dog doing?
Wobble dogs! That's it. Goodbye.
What the dog doing?
Alright, this one is gonna be controversial, so get ready. Not only have I never played this game, but I also think the game itself is just fine. That game being Grand Theft Auto 5. Now don't kill me yet, don't kill me yet. Let me explain. I have never really been a fan of Rockstar games. I think open world games with too much freedom can be boring. GTA 5 is just shooting guns at pedestrians and driving cars, the game. It's really fun to play with friends. I had a blast, but I don't think I'll ever play this game solo. Unless it's 3 a.m. and I want to go into that strip club, baby. Hell yeah, am I right, boys, or am I right? I'm so lonely.
What the dog doing?
I didn't have video footage of this game because I was too lazy, so here's a video of me eating. Rainbow Six Siege is just a more strategic and complex CSGO. And if you don't understand anything I just said, then congratulations on getting more bitches than me.
I'm working on it.
I wrote a haiku for this next game, so please bear with me. Rounds is very gun. Friendships fall like raindrop dew. Ryan sucks, many dick. Hopefully that was a haiku. I really have no idea. I tried my best. I'm terrible at this. I failed English. Everything went really terrible after my wife left me. I've been going through stuff. Please help me, man. I'm begging.
I'm working on it.
Escape the Backrooms is probably the most surprising game I have up here. It's another horror game in the Backrooms internet lore, but this one has more detail, more enemies, and more importantly, more friendships to be had. How cute. I really like how this game is continuously updated every few months. I always tend to come back to this title and see what new levels I can scream at with friends. So in conclusion, game is good.
I'm working on it.
Space. A mysterious concept in which we know barely anything about. Many philosophers tend to think of space as ever-expanding and reality-bending. I find space terrifying, yet finite. There has to be a limit to everything, right? Well, this limit has been found, and its name is Starfield. I have a very love-hate relationship with this game. The story and visuals are great, but the game is lackluster in many departments. Repeating dungeons, lack in variety, and shallow world building. I want this game to get better, but knowing Bethesda, it won't happen. I only ranked it this high because of the hope I have in the modding community. Please, modding community, make this game not boring. I am just begging you, please.
I've just started this Calypso. It is fucking minging.
Barony is a multiplayer dungeon crawler that is fucking difficult. It has gnomes, scary spiders, boulders, and my personal favorite, the Minotaur.
I've just started this Calypso. It is fucking minging.
Loop Hero is a roguelite tactical card builder that repeats over and over again. If you have dementia, this is probably the worst game ever made. Or it's the best, I really don't know. It's tough at first, but eventually you get the handle of it, like driving a stick-shift car. But every turn there's a new obstacle that awaits you. The great part of this game is that you control the board. You control what enemies spawn and how your loop will go. If you lose, then just blame yourself and start over.
I've just started this Calypso. It is fucking minging.
Lethal Company can only be described as horror through isolation. The idea of location-based voice chat in a co-op horror game always goes hard. But to then add a liminal perception through the design of the levels is crazy. Hallways like mazes, noises that obscure the mind, and a retro-style look creates one of my new favorite multiplayer games. I know it's trending, you know it's trending, we all know it's trending, it's like ice cream, so just fucking get the game.
Guys, this is Miranda.
Dread Delusion is a distribution infusion with a solution for illusion. Its execution of perfusion creates a pollution through my seclusion. An intrusion through retribution and absolution creates a conclusion to my confusion. Prostitution.
Guys, this is Miranda.
Peglin, a fun goblin roguelike where you shoot balls and defeat monsters. Try not to get pegged. Wait.
Guys, this is Miranda.
Junji Ito is renowned for his work in horror, creating the most frightening imagery through a single pencil. The black and white pages create a world that signifies that color has long been lost. Many famous horror games, movies, and media have credited Junji Ito for their inspiration, but can Junji Ito's work be recreated or merely mocked? World of Horror aims to recreate and never mock. You play as a detective, solving various horrifying cases in a broken city, uncovering what mad gods and terrifying creatures are at play. I would say more about this game, but much rather leave it up to the viewer's mind. The best games require a sense of creativity and thought from the viewer at hand. World of Horror recreates it near perfectly.
You wanna play with your Mario game? I had a big Rames as a big tame.
Next up, we have the most insane game ever. A game so cruel that even the most vile of people couldn't fathom to play the game. Just uttering the title of this game sends chills down everyone's spine. Only the darkest pit of Dante's Inferno holds a reservation for this game. Of course, I am talking of the game only known as Lil Gator Game. Break cardboard bad guys and travel around a cute little island. Discover many secrets and unlock cool new gadgets, only in Lil Gator Game. As we approach the top 5 games, the goofies and ha-has are going to slow down a bit. I want to give each title its respective piece of why I believe it deserves this spot. So I'll start off simple. Sea of Stars is a wonderful RPG, and I am truly happy to have played it. I am a sucker for turn-based RPGs, so you could probably tell how excited I was to play it. The combat is more in-depth with time precision and an element-based lock system, which may sound boring at first, but trust me, it's pretty rad. The game centers around the concept of everything starry, using solar and lunar energy as a form of magic with straightforward yet complicated progression systems like custom leveling and fun minigames. I really enjoyed playing this game, and I hope to see more unique RPGs like this. Have you ever scrolled on TikTok, Instagram, or some sort of mind-numbing app that passes the time faster than a disassociative episode? Well, that's Outpath for you. Every time I play this game, I feel like shit because I look at the time and realize I've wasted 4 hours upgrading my pickaxe to do 8 more damage. It is not worth it. But holy shit, Outpath is like the meth of video games. It takes complicated games and simplifies it in a perfect form. The only reason I haven't rated this higher is because my mom is a drug counselor and she would be pissed off if I put the meth of video games too far up in this list. Love you, Mom. If I could describe this game in 5 words, it would be goth girl pegging submissive oh, sorry, wrong. Luna Sid is a Kingsfield-inspired RPG with an old-school look attached. You basically fall down a well, and you gotta get out of the well. That's it. Pretty simple plot, but it's not always about the destination. It's about the journey. The world is beautiful, from mystical meadows to period blood, a true masterpiece in fantasy world building. Each weapon you unlock can be upgraded by simply using it multiple times. It encourages a player to try new weapons and spells to find out which best suits them. That's what I love about this game. It allows creativity within such a limited land. And you know what the most crazy part about this game is? It's not even finished. It's in early development, yet it's one of my favorite games of this year, so please check out Lunacid. You want to know something about me? If you couldn't tell, I love video games, but I also love variety in my games. I love trying out new things and giving everything, except shooters, a chance. A while back, I gave Resident Evil a chance, and I loved it. I've played most mainline games, and my personal favorite has always been Resident Evil 4. It was a perfect blend of horror, action, atmosphere, design, and comedy. I understand why critics say it's one of the best. So to remake it and somehow create an almost perfect remake, I am appalled. I would say more about the remake, but it's one of those games you just gotta trust me on. It is the best remake of the year, and quite possibly the best remake in the past few years ever. Thank you, Capcom, for recreating my personal love for horror. Let me tell you a story. When I was very young, my mother and I would play so many video games together. Most of the time, it was just me watching her play a single-player game, but I always felt like I was part of the adventure. She was the reason I got into many of the games I love today. One game we used to play was The Legend of Zelda 4 Swords Adventures for the GameCube. It wasn't the best Zelda game, but god damn it, it was so special to my mom and I. We played it constantly, day after day, night after night, until we finally beat Ganon together. It was very special for my mom and I to bond over video games like these together. But as I got older, we stopped bonding in that kind of way. So one day, in 8th grade, I found an old GameCube at a garage sale for like $60. I convinced my dad to let me buy it, and he let me. Over the next few months, I was working in our backyard to earn every dollar I could to just buy 4 Swords Adventures and buy some controllers with it. After about 6 grueling months, I finally had everything I needed to play that game. And I had no one to play it with. I was at a time where I wasn't close to my friends, and frankly, I didn't want to be close to anyone. So I just put the GameCube and all the memories it brings away, packed it up, and stored it somewhere dark. I'm telling you this story so you can understand the joy I had when my mom called me every day in May to tell me about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Her and I loved this game. It expanded on a masterpiece with additional exploration, new mechanics, and just an overall better experience. And what made it great is my own mom played it too, and we bonded over Zelda again, and it was very special to me. So the game of the year, in my personal opinion, goes to The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Thank you.